Well, folks, it's Evil back with you on YouTube on Horizon 4. Debating which part of this video I should go with first. It's basically going to be a three-parter. This is the Pterodyne Gurkha LAPV. Just tears through stuff at a slow speed. Well, slower than some of the vehicles on here anyway. But I think we're going to leave this as the last part of the vehicle. I guess the first part should be the Lamborghini Miura. This was put into the garage this week, and the reason I show you guys the perks is because once in a while in the perks you get a surprise. And in this one, the surprise was you actually get another car. When you lock this perk up here in the corner, you get a 2008 Revention Forza Edition. So that's why I show you the perks all the time, is because you do get these little nuggets in here that are worth it to you if you didn't have the Revention. Now, this particular one wasn't a slam dunk for me since I already have one, so I'll be auctioning off this new one I just got at some point. Just to go over the I have it tuned for an S1, sort of a lower S1. And the tune I have on, it's the usual Evil tune with the lower tire pressures, gearing looking nice and symmetrical. The alignment, it's all the same in my cars. There's some variations in the sway bars, what they're calling the anti-roll bars, but the front's almost always higher than the rear. Spring rates and the ride heights are sort of try to keep them in the middle of the range. Now, for those that don't know, what they're referring to rebound stiffness is how well the car will take sort of bumps in the road. For lack of a better term, the best way to describe it, we can show you, and I'll show it to you in this car. But to go on with the tune I have, most of my cars I have the downforce that have adjustable downforce all the way to the minimum, and very favoring the front, and the tire pressures down, and the differentials are all the same. But the reason I do that is I like the high speed one, so I would rather have the higher speeds available to me than better turning. But as far as the rebound stiffness goes, like when you're at high speed, some of these lesser looking bumps, the car does a lot of if you have the softer setup, it sort of sticks to the ground better, because the stiffer your setup, the more pronounced these bumps would be. That's the best way to describe it, I guess. In case in point, if we did a whip around here, and especially right in front of the Bamberg Castle when you're making that bend, if your rebound stiffness is set too stiff, and you're coming around this bend here and up over this rise, the car really goes up in the air, where sort of traffic got the best of me there. But then if you're sort of a little out of control coming to this bend, you usually end up in that travel trailer that was to the left there. Same thing with this bend here when you're going over these little dips and stuff in the road. If your rebound stiffness is set too stiff, in other words, your suspension's a little too rigid, you're not going to have good control when you're coming over these different spots. Same way if you're happen to be on a non-asphalt surface like the beach or whatever. If you have it set too stiff, you're going to be more apt to lose control. Even though there's some in the game that says you're able to recover quicker, I'm not so sure that's the case. So that's just food for thought for you players out there that are wondering about things like that. Didn't make it. How embarrassing is that? And that's the other thing I can't stand about this car, is how the game will reset your car. I think it's up to the players, folks, to reset your car. There's so many times lately that I'm on my wheels and I'm getting reset and I'm getting mad that I got reset. But that's a topic for another day. This was a brief look at the Lamborghini Miura. The fact that you actually got another car. Quartz, it's the same way. When you get this regalia here, this is one of the perks, getting the Type D. As part of one of its perks. That is the other car that you get in the perk, is the Type D. That's just food for thought for some of you players that didn't know that. I think the next thing that I have sort of out in the left you guys up in the air on is the Zenvo TSR. Obviously it would have been just this quick to go like this. By the way, I decided to give this thing a paint job. May look sort of a bit off to you at first, but to explain my paint job to some, the reason I did it this way the color for the stripe that you see on the side is close to the brake caliper, and then that color that's wedged inside of that color is the same as the sort of carbon fiber. And then I got what I consider my trademark on my paint jobs is the sort of cross flags, and it varies on some of the cars. And you may be asking, what color is that, Eva? What color is that? Give some of the smarter players a chance to answer that. No, you should have answered it by now. That's zinc. That's the zinc and the specialty colors. I think it kind of looks neat. Enough of the paint job. As far as the tune we got on it and the upgrades, I was able to keep it at the top of the S2 class, whereas I think in my videos I had it in the X class. And the way I was able to do that was, instead of having the racing compound on there, I just had the radial / snow tires on there. And by doing that I was able to have the weight reduction and the basically the engine compartment maxed out. And it's still an S2, and I figure we'll go ahead and take it for a race while we're in it. And I have a custom event right here at the castle that we can go on. As I remember it, it's hopefully, yeah, it's just 4 laps, so it should be less than a half hour long. It has nice coast driving. It's got everything rolled into one. Now this turn up here gives me fits all the time. Turn or bend, whatever you want to call it. here where we have to sort of go left is the same way. I can never time that corner right. He got me for a missed checkpoint, folks. How embarrassing is that on my own course, a missed checkpoint? I pretty much think this can be a dominant car in races. Especially if you're a good driver, not like me, a real poor driver. But up here we sort of cross back over from where we came. So there's traffic issues here sometimes. Same thing as we're rounding the bend. There's always a chance that you can get T-boned coming through here. And for some reason down here the drivatars have a bit of a problem usually. Going through this gate and coming back and getting this gate, they normally get stuck in there for some reason. And I like this course a lot better than the Goliath, because even though the Goliath goes around the map, this particular course has my favorite spot on it, the freeway. Actually, two of my favorite spots are on this particular course, the freeway and then that coast road. And don't let the fireworks throw you off, folks. It is the 4th of July, so it might get noisy. Some of you might be noticing, hey, Evil, you got this stiffness, rebound stiffness set pretty stiff on this car. And I kind of do. I didn't want to monkey around with it too much. As you can see, this car can take corners pretty quick. When I'm by myself, this section I normally can take it full song, which is well over 200 miles an hour. And then I always have the problem down here at the end where I gotta go left. This car does have sort of a nice glide to it. Between this and the Ferrari Evolution, they're going to be my two favorite cars, I think. And unlike the Ferrari Evolution, that you can't really have a, I mean, you can have an S2 tune for it, but it's not going to have what it's known for, the over 300 mile an hour speed. Whereas this one sort of tops out at in the high 250s. I think if you get used to driving this thing, it can take the corners and stuff better than the Ferrari. We were done in by the playground games wall. Did we catch that gate? Did we catch that gate, folks? I don't know if we caught that gate or not. I have to go back. I have to go back. How embarrassing. Wow, we really screwed up there. It will be embarrassing if I can't get back in the front. Now the goal in this race for me at this point is trying to run down that one drivatar symbol I see out there. Just getting to the circle now. It made it easy for us. It sort of went off the road. I do have confidence in some of these turns that I'm taking a bit slow in this car. It's just that I already embarrassed myself a lot in this race and I don't want to embarrass myself more. But we are being a bit on the cautious side. Hopefully my last lap will be the quickest lap of them all. When I'm shifting, it's more of a timing thing than anything to do with the engine. Got a little wayward on me there. again, we have a nice carrot in front of us trying to run down that drivatar symbol that's out there in front of us. Before I get to the finish line. Oh, looks like it went off the road. Going to be close whether I can post a quicker lap or not. I think I'm going to be a little short. Yep. I was a little slow, about 2 seconds on that last lap. Oh well. Paradigm. And sort of a here is the tune on it. As I said, the tires that we have on here, the radial slash snow tires. The top speed is just under 260 at 256 thereabouts. I think I had when I had it on the freeway earlier by myself, it was hitting 258. It wouldn't click over to 259. The gearing, the final drive is at a 332 with nice symmetry spaced in between. Alignments, the typical evil -1 degree of camber in the front, 9/10 of a degree negative in the back, with 1/10 of a negative degree rear toe, and then the caster angle set at 6 degrees. As far as the anti-roll, what I call sway bars, front and rear, it's about a good rule of thumb to have around six points between the front and the rear, favoring the front. Spring rates, same way. You don't want to have them set too soft, because then you get a lot of washout over those same bumps where it looked like I was a little too stiff. And then the damping. If I set it to the rebound stiffness a little too soft, then it'll have that same washout that I didn't want. This was the main thing. If you have the adjustability in your aero package, you can go sort of mid-range, all the way one way, or all the way the other. And then the brakes with the, I noticed a lot of people that share their tunes don't have the brakes adjusted, but that's why I stopped getting other people's tunes. I didn't like that. 53 to the front and 86% braking force to the, so I don't lock them up. Sort of in theory, sometimes I do lock them up because I get scared. And then the rear differential, you got the 50-25 on the front drive and 70-30 on the rear drive, and the balance set to 65%. So that's the evil tune for the TSR-S Zenvo. As I said, it's not an X tune, it's a IS2 tune, which comes in handy if you people are doing that online adventure stuff. I don't see many X-Class adventures, so it comes in handy that way. So that'll do it for the Zenvo, and let's get into the Teradyne vehicle. This next part of the show will be like I'm out of the Terminator, that I'm the Terminator himself trying to chase down the Connors. And you have to be in, let me just make sure that we are in solo. Because if you're not in solo, then there's all the fellow drivers out there are ghosted in Horizon Life, and you don't want that. You want, this is what the game's all about, is hitting your fellow drivers and missing the traffic cars. But when you get to the circles, it's sort of hit everything. And unlike the Zenvo, this thing doesn't take the corners all that well. And it's in the A class, and that's topped out, folks. You can't, there's no combinations to get up into the S class at all. Which, among the gazillion things I would request from Playground Games, is giving us even more power in this thing, so that we can get a little faster. It's over 11,000 pounds, so getting it to make corners and stuff is a bit of a chore. So now we start the game at this first circle. We go against the flow of traffic. And the goal is, fellow drivers, like even that six-wheeled Mercedes, were able to turn it around. Oh, look at that. It's nothing but the six-wheeled Mercedes. Did the game know I was going to do this? I don't know. The Mercedes is no match to the Teradyne, I'll tell you that much. You can't get enough speed to show the real smashability of this thing. Nothing does good against the buses, folks. That's a heads up. The buses are sort of the thing you don't want to run into. A loaded flatbed, this thing can do some things with it. Even the box trucks, it can do it. And this is part of the fun of this thing. You can see how far you can actually push another vehicle. So for those of you that like the Snow Runner game, because it's all about trucks and stuff, Horizon 4 has its own version. Whether you're running into Fords or whatever, these little cars are certainly no match. See how far you can push a Mini. This poor Punisher thing we just smashed up against the So now that we caused some mayhem here, let's drive up on the wrong side going up the freeway. Hopefully we'll be able to get our speed up before we run into a bus. Now we got a good head of steam going. There was that Mercedes six-wheeler. Hey, look at that! There's somebody that actually came over to challenge us. You can see we can have our way with pretty much all these vehicles. Stay away from the buses. There's no match for the buses. Near the end I will hit a bus just to show you what happens when we hit a bus. Hopefully it'll be at our top speed. Hopefully we'll come across the tractor. You can see how we handle a tractor. I swear the game must have knew evil was coming on with the Gurkha. A lot of these vehicles are heavyweights. Not ready for a bus confrontation yet, folks. Not ready. Coming up on the other circle where we can wreak some havoc. Except it looks like there's not much in the way of fellow drivers out here. Hey, look at that. One of the Lamborghinis was out here. Another Mercedes. These poor little cars are just like tossed out of the way. But if you ever need to take out some frustration, there we were able to actually turn the bus a little bit. And you can actually see how many cars are actually disabled around the circle when you're done. Here's the dog eat dog truck. We can give him a push again. See how far we can push him. As I said, this could be a game. A truck pushing contest. Get him nailed up against a tree like that. Say you're able to push him over 1,000 feet or something like that, you get a certain number of points. And then amazingly, the same truck is right here. Go figure. Oh, I missed that one. That was a bit of a stretch to be able to get that one, I guess. This thing had a slightly better turning radius. We could even show off more of a craziness to this thing. Oh, there's another six-wheeled Mercedes. It actually slowed us down pretty good. I was surprised. I thought we'd be able to go right through it. There's another one. Well, we wreaked some havoc around here, so now it's over to the next circle. Oh, we can actually take a picture of that one. Oh, hold on, folks. We can take a picture. We can take oh, I guess we can't take a picture now. Or maybe we can, I don't know. Let's flip this around and see if that truck's still there. There it is. Let's go and take a picture of this thing so I don't have a picture of this particular one yet. Too bad there wasn't an action shot, but we reached another level. I'm up to 640 of the 699. That's nice. So what we'll do is we'll see what kind of havoc we can create at this last circle, and then we'll take another run down the freeway, and that'll do it for this particular episode of Evil on Horizon 4. And again, on the spy window, you can actually see the vehicles that you can have fun with. Watching these smaller cars just go flying through the air. Alright, some of them really flying through the air. And that poor buggy, he went for a little bit of a ride. Of course, the solid walls, you gotta watch out for those. There's no give to those. Ah! We missed the buggy that time. That would have been a nice one to get. And here's a tractor, folks. Let's see what we can do. I sort of had too much of a glancing blow there. Too much of a glancing blow. And you got going again. Oh, a taxi. Taxi, taxi, taxi. There's another taxi. A twofer. And here's another try at the tractor. We can go straight on and give them a push around. Make one more circle and see if there's anything to hit, and then we'll head back on the freeway. Oh, I missed that one. Oh well. To the freeway we go, folks. To the freeway we go. Oh, there's another picture, folks. We can take another picture. Hold on, another picture. There we go. Evil's quest for taking all the photographs of all these cars continues. That's another one in the box, and here comes Tiger, the one to sit on my lap. He doesn't quite understand that between me and him we're too fat to be on this deal together, but that's alright. Continuing on the freeway to see what kind of havoc we can cause. Hopefully there'll be some traffic coming this way. And sometimes you can get these traffic cars to ricochet into the path of another car. That's happened to me a lot. That's what I came up with this thing. I noticed that there were some drivers out there doing that. So I decided to just make a video of it. So if you leave a comment saying, Evil, you were a bit too rough, I'll take that into consideration. For those of you that like the madness of ramming other cars and stuff like that, it'll be interesting to see if I get any comments, because normally we don't get any comments. And another tool for us YouTubers is the likes and dislikes. If you don't like a video, just dislike it, and we'll change our approach. But since I am lucky to get 2 views, I guess I'm expecting too much by having likes and dislikes. Tractor again, tractor. Oh, tree doesn't give. So now we have an added battering ram with us. Oh, he turned off. As I said, folks, the likes and the dislikes are a great help. Of course, when you have only 3 subscribers like me, subscribers are a big help too, to let us know that we're at least in the right ballpark. As I said, for you guys that like adventures, they should come up with a smashing adventure. I'm all for that. Since I don't drift very well, the drift adventures are pretty much useless for me, so if we can have a smashing adventure, I am all for a smashing adventure. Can even go bowling for dollars. We almost got a strike on that. I think we ended up with a bad split, but for the bowlers out there, you know what I'm talking about. I think we'll went a little too wide, there's a fail. And I think on that note, folks, we'll leave it at that on this video. It's getting hot in the apartment, so I gotta turn on the air for me and the cats. But if you could, like and dislike, and please subscribe, folks. Lets us know that we're on the right track. Other than that, as always, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video, folks. Bye for now.